Welcome to the Center of Light Radio with spiritual teacher, intuitive, musician, composer, and best-selling author of The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth, your host, Keith Anthony Blanchard.
Coast to coast, pole to pole, all around the world on the internet, thanks to the marvel of technology. I am coming at you live from my little guest house in Memphis, Tennessee. This is Keith Anthony Blanchard, and you are listening to Center of Light Radio, Center of Divine Unfoldment and Reinforcement. Power up and spread the light, y'all. It's Monday night. Center of Light Radio can be considered the superhighway to knowledge for that which is most important, and that would be you. You can bet on that. I'm here on Monday nights, and I appreciate your presence. The chat room is full. Hello, everyone in the chat room. My appreciation to you. Thank you for being here. I just sent out a new newsletter today. It's a bi-monthly newsletter. If you have not received that newsletter yet, go to centeroflightradio.com. Look to the bottom right of the opening page, and you will see a subscription form. Fill it out. I will not send you junk. I will not spam you. Everything I'm going to send you is of quality. Put your name in there. That way you can keep up with the stuff that really moves me. And in turn, I would like to share what I am fortunate enough to find with you. So fill out that subscription form and let's be connected that way for sure. Also, when you're at Center of Light Radio, check out the Do What You Love Forever tab. You can purchase the Do What You Love Forever course there for $5. Check this out. You get my bestseller, The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth, Self-Reflection Workbook, Divine Daily Supplements, Do What You Love, the movie about my life from Blue Cast Productions out of New York. You also get the Divine Principle audiobook multimedia music album. You also get the Anchoring Heaven on Earth audio tape meditation done by yours truly. It's all digital downloads, so you get it immediately. How cool is that? To call into the show today, or anytime, but today I have a wonderful guest, so today would be a good opportunity. Dial 888-919-2355, 888-919-2355. Remember, if you are not at home by your computer and you want to hear your favorite show, you can go to the App Store on your phone and download the Inception Radio Network app for free. Everything is right there at your fingertips. Chat room, listen, live link, news, podcasts, and there's much more to that app, that's for sure. There are many ways to connect to Center of Light Radio and Inception Radio Network for sure. And if you want to watch the live video stream of this broadcast, make sure you close your chat room browser and go to irntube.com. Use the audio that's there, because if you have two tabs open, you'll get doubled audio. But also know that if you want to be in the chat room while you're watching the live feed, look to the bottom right. You'll see a thought balloon with IRN on it. Click that puppy, and you get to watch the live stream as well as chat with all those in the chat room. Now, it's time to get down to Center of Light Radio business. Today, my guest is Lisa Dottoli, and we're going to be speaking about how to turn your struggles into strength and trials into triumph. Lisa has been studying spiritual empowerment and the life transformation process for over 18 years and has a passion for helping people. She founded LifeShare University of Healing, LLC, in 2009 after disaster struck her health. Her goal is to use her own life experiences as inspiration to teach others that they should never, ever give up on themselves or their life. Being the living proof, Lisa knows that anyone can sludge through the muddy waters of life when they pour into it their heart, mind, body, and soul. She is also a psychic angel medium and the published author of the spiritual self-help book, 9 Amethyst Angels, Connecting and Healing with Your Angels. For more about my guest today, Miss Lisa Dottoli, you can go to www.counciloflight.net. Welcome to Center of Light Radio, Lisa Dottoli.
Hi, Keith. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thank you for being here today on Center of Light Radio.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been looking forward to it.
Let's get right to the beginning of your walk. What happened to you, if you can share, and it's not too personal, or even an overview of what happened to you that brought you to your conscious spiritual path?
Sure, Keith. Well, what happened is I was 32 years young. It was I'll never forget the date, October 24th, 2002. And I sprained my ankle. I slipped on steps and sprained my ankle, and it didn't heal correctly. Well, about 6 months or so later, I was finally diagnosed with reflex sympathetic dystrophy, also known as complex regional pain syndrome, or RSD/CRPS. So what happened was, what RSD is, it's a nervous system disorder that if it's not treated correctly and immediately, it spreads through the body. And so it did, unfortunately, which left me in a wheelchair. It spread throughout my whole body. And it's a nervous system disorder. So that's kind of tells you how it spread. But what happened was I was pretty much at my the lowest moment in my life. And I said, I said to myself, I do not want to live my life like this. This is not how I pictured my life at 32 years old or even further down. So I got myself out of the wheelchair, and I want to stress that not everyone has the physical capabilities to get out of the wheelchair, but they can take their mind out of the wheelchair. And I always like to make that point about that part of it. What I did was, in this process, I started to research natural medicine and natural healing. I immediately started meditating. Meditating brought me further and further and further down my spiritual path. It really started to make me see where everything was coming from and where my issues were and what I had to fix. It gave me the awareness of what I had to fix, so I knew what to do to fix it. You understand? So I started researching, and I became so passionate about what I found. I mean, I was changing my life for the better, and I was getting better. I was physically getting better. I was mentally and emotionally getting better. So I went back to school, and this was during the time when I was having issues to walk. So it's not like you have to be perfect to start whatever you want to do, okay? And I always like to stress that as well, that I became certified in 7 areas of the natural wellness field. And as I was moving forward, I started to notice some things that were a little odd. I literally thought I was schizophrenic because I was hearing things. And then I realized that I was hearing spirit, and it takes time to open up as well. But that's how I started opening up my spirituality, through everything I was going through. And then the research I was doing, I was actually opening up my mind to the spiritual aspect of everything as well. And in terms of connecting with the spiritual side of myself, my higher self, and other spirits. So after that, I started my business at LifeShare University of Healing. And I, again, felt like there was something missing still. Like I still had something to do. So I went back to school again. I went back to school, and I earned my degree in transformational psychology. And then I earned another certification as a holistic health practitioner, and 2 more Reiki my Reiki 2 practitioner certificate. So that is where it all started. That's how I got started into everything. And that's where LifeShare came about.
Wow, what a process. What an amazing unfoldment, transformational process.
Yes.
In the spiritual field, what is your passion? Though you do a lot of things.
Yes.
What do you seem to gravitate as? What makes your heart sing in spirituality? What role?
The spirituality part, I like to help people change their life, like see where they are, like take them from where they are now and actually show them that they can get to where they want to be. It's the transformational process that I believe that I have such a passion for, is helping people transform their lives. So that's what my my passion would be.
You and I walk the same path in that regard. My life is about extending the gift that was given to me many, many years ago by a dear friend. And he said, Keith, I don't expect you to believe a damn word I'm telling you. He said, in fact, I invite it. But what I do ask you to do is put this into motion and watch what happens.
Yes.
That day, that week, that month, that year. Yes. My life began to turn within itself and became this huge explosion of miracles.
Yes. Yes. And that is what a lot of people don't understand at the beginning, is that once you take that first step, okay, it's all about taking that first step. Everything just falls along each other like domino. It's like a domino effect. And a lot of people don't understand that if you just make the choice to change, it all starts from there as soon as you make that choice,
Totally. And as I was reading your bio, the words that really stuck out for me was never, ever give up. And I know it can be challenging, and but it is your challenge, and that word is used intentionally. It's your challenge to climb your personal Mount Everest. Yes. And I know that after you get halfway or 3/4 way up your challenge, your Mount Everest, you're tired.
Yeah.
You're worn out, and you just want to stop.
Yes. So many times. So many. Oh my God, just you saying that brings tears to my eyes. It really does, because I remember that feeling. I remember saying, is this really my purpose? Asking the angels and my guides to please give me the strength, asking God. And I say God, everybody might have a different word for God. I use the word God. And I just ask him, please give me the strength to do this, because I never, and I say this in my writings as well, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, because it's damn hard. Okay. It's hard. It takes commitment. It takes patience, and it takes forgiveness to yourself and to others. And I believe that forgiveness is one of the biggest things in moving forward, because that forgiveness that we haven't given ourselves or others is a block. It holds us back, and that, and we're like, well, I'll never forgive them for this or that. I had some things that I had to forgive to people that were closest to my heart, and it was hard. It was hard, but after I finally realized what forgiveness was, which I'm going to tell you about that in a second, because I think it's really important, because a lot of people don't know what forgiveness actually is. But once I did that forgiving, my whole outlook on life changed. I felt lighter. And I'll never forget the first time I realized what forgiveness actually was. And I'm telling the listeners right now, and everybody out there, listen, write this down, because I'm telling you, it changed my life. I was watching Oprah's Life Class, okay? And Ilana Van Zant was on there as a guest. This is her very first life class. And somebody asked what forgiveness was. How would she describe or define forgiveness? And she said, forgiveness is letting go of the hope that the past could be any different. I thought that was so powerful.
Wow.
Isn't that powerful?
Yeah, very, very, very powerful. I actually sent her an invite to be a guest on Center of Light Radio. I haven't heard anything yet. Yes, I did. I love her. She is a phenomenal, powerful leader. Absolutely.
Yeah, she is. She is.
My guest today here on Center of Light Radio is Lisa Dottoli. You can call 888 919-2355 to be on the air with myself or my guest today. You can catch more of Lisa at www.counciloflight.net. Let me ask you, Lisa, how did you start hearing the other side?
Well, okay, here's a great story. And this is how I started realizing what I was hearing and seeing was not schizophrenia. Okay. I love crystals and gemstones. Okay. And I would sit there and I would go buy handfuls of crystals and just snapshot pictures one after one. And this story is actually a long version in that book, Nine Amethyst Angels. What happened was I was taking pictures and the crystal started to shapeshift. And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? I'm like, I am continuing to take these pictures, right? So I continued and I put the pictures onto my computer from my camera and the shapes were there. It started shape-shifting into different animals. It was a frog, then there was a turtle, then there was a bear and a wolf, and it went on for probably about 7 or 8 different animals. So after that, I said, how can I capture what I'm seeing in these crystals? So what I did is I would take still images of the different crystals and I would draw what I see in them. So this way I could show other people what I was seeing and what spirit was showing me. And that's what I did. And now I call it angel art drawings or readings. And I do angel art readings for all kinds of people, except now I don't need the crystals because my intuition has opened up so much. I don't even need the crystals to see what they are, what spirit is telling me. But I have about 7 or 8 art drawing books filled with crystal drawings and spiritual drawings. And you actually can find some on my LifeShare website. That's where the angel art readings are. But that's how I opened up. That's how I figured it all out.
Wow. Tell me about this new, I'm going to start off with the word social network. But now that I impregnated you with the idea, we're going to take the network away. This social community.
Community, yes.
Tell us about that.
Okay. So
how they can find this particular community so they can become a part of it.
Oh, wonderful. I would love to. Okay, so what I'm in the process of doing now, like I said, I started LifeShare in 2009. Well, Council of Light is basically a sister company of LifeShare. So what I'm doing is I'm starting an e-learning community and of all spiritual personal development topics. And I added a community, and the social community has Facebook-like features. And you can go to the community at www.counciloflight.me. And that's where you can join. It's completely free to join the community. And whoever joins, any members can post in the forums. They can upload videos. They can upload audio. It has instant messaging. They can friend people. They can write in the magazine. There's so many features. I just absolutely love it. I
can custom design your own page to look the way you want it.
Yes, you can custom design your own profile. Put whatever you... Yes, it's great. I mean, and actually video messaging will be coming into it soon. The host is actually having an issue with it right now. So there will be video messaging as well as instant messaging. So that's great not only for personal, but or business, say you wanted to have a little business meeting with someone. I mean, you could go in there and it's full of personal development information, spiritual development, and aromatherapy, holistic health. It's all based on that. So everything in there has something to do with that category. You know what I mean? So we're also doing in the e-learning center, we are also doing business building because I feel like, okay, I could teach somebody how to be a life coach. I can train them how to become aware. But what do they do with it afterwards? You know, it's like, Okay, now I'm a life coach. Now what do I do with it? What do I do with my knowledge? Well, in the e-learning center, we teach people how to start their own business, and we are there 110% supporting anyone that wants to take that step.
So how many people, just a number off the top of your head, do you think have joined your social community?
Right now, because I have not marketed anything yet, which I'm going to be launching a huge marketing plan in a couple months, there's only about 20 people in there right now.
Oh, so we're at the very, very front end of this community.
Yes, the very cool. Beginning. Yes.
So would you give out that web address again? So, hey guys, listen up. My listeners on Center of Light Radio, make sure you go check out this social community /network. It's really, really cool. I'm in there. I'm uploading videos like crazy. What is that address again, please?
Sure. It's www.counciloflight.me, like Mary, M-E, or me. Yeah. So it's counciloflight.me.
And as I'm looking at your bio still, I'm loving the idea that you are claiming that you are living proof. Many people that I work with on a one-on-one basis, heck, people I even meet out in public, and they're aware of what it is I do and why I do it.
Right.
You know, I often say, you know, I don't buy into your BS story. You know, right. I have a heart full of compassion and a lot of sympathy for you, but I don't buy into the bull crap story because I'm living proof. Yes. I can do it. I'm the guy next door. I'm not one of these specially gifted people and whatever. I mean, I have no more gifts than anyone else.
Yes.
You know, but I just have a self full of passion and fire. And when I put my mind to it, as you said, my mind, my heart, my entire self into something I want to happen. People say, does that work? I mean, you have no idea. Not only does it not work, there is no way it's not going to work.
Yeah,
because exactly. I am absolutely determined to see it through, no matter how long it takes.
Right.
And it's not about reaching the goal for me.
Right.
Even though that is my motivation to do what I'm doing is to reach that goal. But my goal is to put my entire self in the process.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm telling you, that's what I say when I say I'm the living proof. I say, I'm not anybody. I'm not anyone special. I'm just a normal human being trying to make it in the world. So what makes me any different from anyone else? Nothing. It's just that I have the drive, the passion, and that's what I always tell everybody. What would you do for a living if you didn't need money to live?
I say that all the time.
Right? See,
right.
We're running parallel, Keith.
I have a question from the chat room from Don Donnie.
Sure.
The question for you is, as a healer, does Lisa teach the harmful effects of radiation, that is, cell phones, etc.?
I don't personally teach that, but I do have a person that I associate with that does teach that. There's actually something called Orgonite. I don't know if he has ever heard of it or you have. It's a wonderful, wonderful product. It's like a resin that has all these different metal pieces and crystals and stuff inside of it, and they're actually beautiful. And if anybody goes to my Facebook page, they could see it. But I can tag you in something, Keith, so people can see what they look like. They're gorgeous, and the energy from them actually protects. The Orgonite protects people from EMF energy. Like I said, I don't personally teach that aspect of it. I understand it, but I do have somebody that I talk to that I'm actually very good friends with, and he has a Facebook page and does the Orgonite, which are absolutely gorgeous. We're at
the bottom of the hour. Lisa, give out your contact information or anything you want to give a shout out about you and your work.
Okay. Well, I would love, I would love to invite anyone that is interested in creating a course or a single webinar. I would invite them to contact me through Facebook, or they can email me at lisa@lifeyou.me, which is LISA, Lisa at lifeyou.me. And it's my business email address. So feel free to email me there if you are interested in creating a course or a single webinar. And this is for counciloflight.net, which you can find. You can get to our community from there. You can find everything from that page. You can find a connection to. And there's an instructor's training page, which you'll find on the top navigation bar for anyone that would like to be an instructor or a webinar presenter. And love you to join me on Facebook. You can find me at Lisa Petit Dottoli. It's PATETE-DOTTOLI. It's a little rough, the Italian part, to understand and without spelling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. 888-919-2355. 888-919-2355. The number you call to get on the air with myself or Miss Lisa Dottoli. Lisa, we talked just a bit ago about your angel picture animal things.
Angel art
is that the same thing as your book? Not the book. The book, The Nine Amethyst Angels. Is this all connected? But you also do psychic angel readings, or you do channelings, or you medium, and do you have a large clientele base, or how does that work for you?
Yes, I do have a large clientele base, especially with the angel art readings. And if you go to my other website, and I hate to keep jumping back and forth, but I have two different websites for things. So LifeShareUniversity.com. You can go under services and then click angel art readings, and you can find a whole bunch of information there if anybody's interested. But I do have a great clientele. In fact, I'm doing something on Thursday night with a group, and the angel art is just so unique, and you receive so many different messages from it could be from spirits, spirit guides, crossed over loved ones, messages to help you move forward, telling you, okay, you're here now. This is what you got to do to get to where you want to be. This is what you have to change. And this is where I truly believed where my passion came from, was because I did my own angel art readings, and it led me to where I am today. I call it an angelic map. And that's what the angel art readings are. They're like a map from the angels that guide you to where you need to be. And they're telling you, listen, this is what's going on, but you have to do this. If you don't do this, it's going to stay the way it is. You know, so they're very, very guiding, very, very beautiful pieces of artwork. They're digitally drawn on in Adobe Photoshop. So, and it looks like they look like oil paintings or watercolor paintings. And they're gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And they're very, very helpful.
How do you get your information? And is it visual? Is it a knowing? Is it,
Right.
How does this come in for you as you're doing your work?
Okay. What I do is sometimes I'll see like scenes playing from a movie, and I'll see them in my mind's eye. There's times that I'll just have a feeling, or I'll get a physical sensation. Like, say I receive information from a spirit and they're trying to tell me who they are. They will give me signs of how they passed. I might get something like some kind of pain in my stomach. I might feel my throat, like sort of feeling like it's tightening or closing up. So that's different. There's different ways. I do have all the clairs. I don't know if you're familiar with all the clairvoyance, clairsentient, clairaudient, and claircognizant. So I do have all four. My strongest is the visual, because I'm very visual, and I also can hear things as well. So I hear, for example, this beautiful celestial music at nighttime, and it's just absolutely, it puts me right to sleep. Yes, it puts me to sleep. I'll just say, angels, can you please play your beautiful music? And I'll be like, oh, I'll start hearing it, and I'll be like, oh, night night.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm very audio oriented because, well, being a musician, it would make sense that that's how it works for me. And I had to get used to the idea, and still it's a process for me that when I come to know a God realized man from India a couple of years ago. I've interviewed him twice, once here in Center of Light Radio and Inception Radio Network. And I had the blessed opportunity to touch this man, have him have a conversation with me, tell me about my life, my past lives.
Wow.
How connected I was. Yeah, yeah. Talk about way out stuff or way in stuff. And it took me a while, and it still does, to get used to the idea when I hear Swamiji talk to me.
Right.
It happens out of nowhere. It's not that I'm premeditating or thinking, is there a thought coming in my spiritual email box I need to be looking for, which would set up the idea that I might be fabricating this in my own head. This hits me hard, and I'll hear something like, hello, Keith, it's Swamiji. And I ask myself, is my mind really jacking with me? Is this really happening? And I started the process of realizing that I am truly being spoken to, be it deceased relatives, be it God-realized men, be it Christ, be it higher self. And they will come in with a name, not because names are important or that I'm important because I have this person talking to me. They come in with names because they want me to understand the signature vibration of who it is I'm actually having a dialogue with.
Wow, that's so great that you say that. Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and it takes me back. I was in a nightclub the other night listening to a band play. Right. And I'm in a room full of tons of people, and I get a download. I'm split in half. And I start bawling at the table, so much so I had to go outside. And I couldn't take it. And I was being spoken to. I was being split in half. And of course, I'm hearing, Keith, hold on, strap in. It's coming. And whatever the it is, I don't know. And I'm excited about the it. But the download itself is really, really overwhelming when you get such love vibrations that you cannot contain it. And the only thing you can do with it to make sense of it and to balance it off is to cry.
Yes. Wow. That's so true. That's so true, because it's so overwhelming, that feeling of peace and that feeling of love. How many times that just makes so much sense to me, Keith, because how many times that has happened to me. You've really it's like they're bringing in so much love that you're releasing anything that doesn't have to do with love.
Yeah, and when this energy starts to come in, when I was channeling my bestseller, The Divine Principle, Anchoring Heaven on Earth, I would go into these crying spells for about 2 minutes, uncontrolling, sobbing, just pouring, snot running out of my nose because I can't control it. It's so overwhelming. And I heard in meditation, Keith, the reason you're crying like this is because, you've never felt such vibration, such high level energy, at least in this body. And even if you have in the recent past, because I've been channeling, when it comes in, it's just not a part of my normal construct. And so instead of exploding, I just go to these crying.
Yes. It's so true, because we're on such a low vibrational level as human beings that once we experience the higher vibration, we're like, what the heck is this? I don't know what this is, because we're so fear-based here, and there's only two things we can base things on, is love or fear. So if anything has to do with fear, that's where the anger, the resentment, the unforgiveness, all of that comes from, is the fear. If we all just imagine if the whole world thought with love and just we were based with love instead of fear, what a wonderful world would that be? What a peaceful world would it be?
Have you noticed when you, quote, channel, or you're getting a download, or for whatever reasons you're being cloaked by spirit, or whatever terminology you want to use, when that experience happens? We just mentioned about the crying spells that we go into, but have you noticed how let's say, for example, one of these episodes lasts for 30 seconds.
Okay.
Have you noticed in that 30 seconds, there's so much encrypted information that it may take you another 2 or 3 months to actually get, process, and assimilate and use what you got in that 30 seconds, 2 months ago?
Yes.
It's
Oh
like
my
there's no
gosh,
past,
yes.
there's no future, and you
No.
can feel all the different layers of information that is being imparted to you, even though you're only cognitive of what you think you may be hearing. You know, the
Right.
instruction from your guide or whatever. You think that's what you're hearing. That's the superficial stuff.
Right.
You know, they may be
Right.
speaking to you to get your attention, but all the really juicy stuff is what you have been impregnated with, which is going to unfold in your life in
Yes.
the future. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I have actually. Now, and this is a suggestion for anyone that feels like they are downloading information. And this is how I started. Remember, I was talking about how I started to draw. Well, I not only, when I drew, I didn't just draw pictures, okay? I was actually getting a quote or a poem with each drawing. And I suggest to write it down because I'll tell you what, once I get that information, and I won't remember it in another hour because it's not my information. It's coming from somewhere else. And it's like I say when I do a reading, listen, I'm going to tell you right now what I'm feeling. But and then somebody will come, oh, you remember when you told me this? Well, it happened. And I'd be like, honestly, I don't remember. I don't remember telling you because it's not coming from my own brain. It's something like you say, I'm downloading. Okay, so it's like downloaded information, but that message wasn't for me. That was for her or him, you know? So I don't personally remember that. So when I'm downloading information, I learned to continue to write it, or even if you have to, like if you get information out when you're out somewhere, you don't have something to write with, use your phone and you put notes in there, you know, and record the information somehow, even if you speak it as you're hearing it. I just think that's so important because so many of us receive these messages, and like you said, a lot of time people think, oh, it's not real. Well, believe it's true, because I always say, if you feel it, believe it, because your body tells you something. There's gut feeling, you know, that intuition, you know, that comes from the gut. Always follow that, you know.
Absolutely. Center of Light Radio, Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My guest is Lisa Dottoli. If you want to call into the show, dial 888-919-2355. Something you just said a moment ago is I get it now. I get it at this stage of my life. It's all real. Everything you've ever heard of, ghost, aliens, this, that, fairies, it's all real.
It's all real.
I've experienced for 4 years, as most of my listeners know, hanging out and befriending an alien-human hybrid for 4 years. It's real. He presented a fairy to me on a plant leaf in the middle of the night. I saw it. It's real. It's all real. So when you can take your level of belief. For example, the example I gave just a little bit ago, that, you know, when Swamji, the God-realized man who lives in India, wants to talk to me, he'll say, "Good morning, Swamji." It's like I had to practice believing that this was happening.
Right.
Until it was validated to me from him. He goes, "Oh yeah, Keith, I talk to you as if I'm calling you on a cell phone," kind of idea. And so these things are all real. They're all real. And you know, where do myths and folklore and tales come from?
Exactly.
It comes from some expression of truth, though it may have been twisted and diluted for cultural reasons.
Right.
But it all comes from some aspect of truth.
Right. You know, Keith, as you were speaking, I was remembering, as you were saying about believe it's real and fairies. I have to tell you a little story about, I think it was 2012, and it was New Year's Eve. And my daughter had gotten a camera, a really nice camera, for Christmas. So I was out front of my house, and I'm taking pictures, just seeing the quality of the photos. And I said in my mind, I said, "Okay, angels, if you're here, if you have any messages for me, show me in the photos," because they have there a lot of times you can see them in the photos. They're easier to show themselves. Well, I look at the pictures, and going in through my door, and I will post, actually these pictures I believe are on my Facebook. If not, I will put them up. Going into my door is a big, bright, golden light. Then, and again, I'm snapping these photos like sort of like an action photo series. So, and I see the light coming down going into my door, and when it's coming out of my door now this is all within like 1 or 2 seconds, you can see the head of a fairy, the wings, the arms, the face. She was wearing like this little Jeff Cap style hat. She was so cute, and she was probably smaller than a cell phone. But I have pictures of that. I'm going to post on my Facebook, and I'll tag you in them too. And I have there's just 3 actual photos that I chose out of them that are, it's crazy. And it just reminded me when you said that they're like, you have to believe they're real. And when they showed me that, and that's why I say, all you have to do is ask for a sign, and they'll show you. It's us that have to become aware of the signs, because they're always sending signs.
Most people don't realize the power in doing what you just said. Show me something. And again, you have to develop your awareness to be able to receive what is being shown, but you can also ask for that too. Show me this, and also help me to recognize it. Right, exactly. And that's exactly, like, there's times where I'll receive messages from spirit or the angels, and I'll be like, listen, I didn't understand that. Could you make it clearer for me? And they're not sitting there going, oh my God, Lisa, I can't believe you don't get it. That's not what they are. They want to get this message to you. They want you to understand it. So they're not going to say, oh, forget it. You don't understand. I'm not going through it again. That's just not how it works. You know what I mean? Yes. Most people think there's a certain protocol you have to follow to speak to God or spirit.
Exactly. There isn't one.
You have to be on your knees. You have to bend over. You have to have a certain posture. You have to genuflect. Now, mind you, genuflection and getting on your knees does create an opening, but it doesn't have to be that formal. I mean, you can't do that in your car. So if you want to speak to spirit in your car. And I've always found, at least for me, when I don't take it so seriously, unless there's a time for it, if I just want to speak to spirit, I keep it with a friendly attitude, as if I'm speaking to my friend that, we hang out with, on an occasional basis.
Right.
I treat the divine as if it's one of my best friends versus something that I'm always in a position of being inferior to, unless it's something I'm truly asking from a very deep, heartfelt space that I know my posture and my humility has to come into play to serve a greater purpose. But as far as me creating a dialogue with spirit, it's just, what's up, dude?
Right, exactly. And it's exactly, and people think, oh, I have to pray a certain way. I sit there and I'll be laying in bed, I'll be like, and I have my spirit guide's name is Johanna, and I'll be like, Johanna, can you please hum me a song? I'm having a hard time sleeping, and it relaxes me every time. Next thing you know, she's humming. So it's like, oh, you don't have to sit there and go, oh, dear so-and-so, I am asking this. You just talk, like you said, talk to them like they're your friends. Talk to them like they're your best friends, because guess what? They are your best friends. They're the friends that will never, ever leave you,
Lisa, the title of the show is How to Turn Your Struggles into Strength and Trials into Triumph. You and I spoke briefly the other day, and you were sharing with me this gorgeous analogy of taking care of a garden.
Yes. Okay. Now, when I talk about life transformation process, and this is also how I teach it in my courses, my online courses, I teach it from as of growing your life, I teach growing your life, and I compare it or use the metaphorical reference to growing a garden. So basically what I say is, before you can plant new seeds into your garden, what do you have to do? You have to weed the garden. And if you just weed the top of the garden or the top of the weeds and pull them out, they're going to continuously grow back. So you have to get those weeds out by the root. Okay. And when I say that it means that becoming aware of what is crowding your garden, which is the weeds, which is our fears, our unforgiveness, our guilt, all the negative emotions. Okay. What we do is We don't just pull it out by the surface. We dig down to the root and find what the initial or the sensitizing moment was that caused you to feel this way in your life. Because, we bring stuff from the past and we might react to something now in the present, and it has nothing to do with that actual situation. It's something that happened to us in the past. So what happens is we pull that out by the root and we find that sensitizing or triggering moment. That's where the root of the weed comes from. Then once the weeds are pulled, then you can start planting your seeds, your new ideas, your new life. And then as you watch your seeds bloom, okay, they start out, you notice they don't go from seed to fruit, right? That just is impossible. You have to grow it little by little, step by step. You have to constantly nurture those seeds. You have to give them the water, sun. You have to give them all the elements, the nutrition that they need. Not just food as nutrition, but thought nutrition. You know what I mean? So if you compare your life to growing your life and compare it to growing a garden from seed, weeds, soil, everything, you will see how much easier it is to understand. And with the soil just alone, okay, you surround your seeds with soil. Are you going to use fresh soil or are you going to use old yucky soil? Who do you surround yourself with? Okay, so think of your soil as who and what you surround yourself with. That's going to help you find what you can either need to. And I always say, if something's negative that's causing you to feel a bad way or causing you to do negative things, you either limit or eliminate. You limit your time with them.
I've been in the process of eliminating
Yes.
social media. Trust me, listening audience, I understand as well as you do what social media is. I get it.
Right.
And there's going to be many different types of expression that's going to come across your stream.
Yes.
But there's something I will not allow. I don't mind people's everyday drama or negativity. But when that negativity gets real thick,
Yes.
and it comes with a dagger and people stabbing people with their metaphorical daggers, I'm eliminating. And people say, well, hey, Keith, have you ever thought that maybe your positive upliftment of the things that you post might help those people? I understand that as well. But I'm choosing to opt out because I don't want that in my world.
Right.
That is not allowed in my world. There are infinite amount of worlds. There are 7 billion people on this planet. There are 7 billion worlds. If that's the world you choose to live in, that's okay with me.
Right.
I'm just done with it. And, I see racism all the time on social media. And I see people
terrible.
putting up horrible, certain pictures of people and saying, you must say something nice. I will find you and I will unfriend you and block you immediately.
Yes.
I don't care if you're a family member or who you are. It's just not what I want to hear.
Yeah, I totally agree. And it's funny, people for example, my mother is one of them. She'll be like, did you see so-and-so on Facebook or this happened? I'd be like, no, Mom, I only go on there for business. That's the only reason I'm on there is for my business to help people through that. Because I can't, and that's one of the main reasons why I created the Council of Light community, because there is zero tolerance for negativity in that community. Zero tolerance.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Give out that web address again.
Sure.
Listen up, listening audience. Lisa and I were talking a little bit ago. She started a social community / network Facebook kind of thing, but without all the bad stuff.
Exactly.
What is that address, love?
It's www.counciloflight.me. counciloflight.me. You can also get to the community through our main website at counciloflight.net.
I really like the site. In fact, last week or so, I went there and I started manipulating and designing my own page. I'm still not done with it yet. It's very, very user friendly. So, listening audience, make sure you check this out. Really, really fun and really, really cool. And we're on the front end of that wave, which is really good for us to infiltrate the system.
Yes, exactly. And also, if anybody has any issues because of you contacting me about that, Keith, which I thank you, is I made a video on the instructors page of how to navigate the community. So if anybody goes to the counciloflight.net, it's www.counciloflight.net. And if you go to the instructor training page, there's a video on there. It shows you how you can navigate through the community and set up your own profile page, design it.
Very cool.
Yes.
So what do we see for Lisa Dottoli in the near future?
For me, my final goal is to be teaching people through online courses and webinars, and also being able to travel, because I want to meet new people and also share my knowledge with people because I'm in New Jersey. So I want to travel. I actually have a map, like a US map, and I have little pins already starting where I want to start. So I want to travel around and promote the Council of Light. And we have a huge marketing plan in place, which is I'm going to be on the road with it. And that's one of the reasons why I want to do everything online right now, is because I want to be able to take it with me.
Fantastic. So you have not a vision board, but a vision map.
Yes. I have
and so,
my map.
Now that you're going to be putting all this out there, you have another book in you possibly?
Actually, I do have. I actually have 3 CDs. It's called, and it's funny that we're talking about the garden. The title of the CD series is called "A Life from Roses to Lilies, Back to Seed," and there are 4 already available on my website, on the LifeShare website. We are building an e-shop right now as well. That can be accessed through our main Council of Light website as well. And the CDs will be available, I'd say, within the next week on there.
Fantastic.
Yes. And that again is A Life from Roses to Lilies, Back to Seed. Each CD talks about one step of the transformation process.
And I would love to, in the very near future, take you up on the possibility of doing a webinar.
That would be great.
Through your platform. That would be amazing.
Oh, I would love it. I would absolutely love to have you part of the e-learning and the community. That would be great.
Lisa, we are slowly coming to the top of the hour. Could you leave us with a final thought for our listening audience here in Center of Light Radio?
Sure. I always say, let me think of a quote that I use for my own self that I feel is good. First of all, never doubt thyself nor thy own power and gifts is one of my favorite quotes. And also, don't let other people tell you what's good for you.
Amen.
You do what you feel in your heart is the right thing. I've had people tell me what I should be doing or how I should be working. And I did it at the time. And now, guess what? Didn't work. I wasn't happy. Wasn't happy at all. And now I do what I love. I love what I do. And
Yay for you, girl.
It's funny. Yeah, I didn't realize it. That's your thing too. And I'm just such a big supporter in that you should always follow your heart, because your heart will never lie to you. Never, ever lie.
If your heart is the stargate, if your heart, which is a metaphor for love, which is the center of love, it is the stargate to God. It makes sense to me that when you do what you love, you are in alignment with the reason you were born. You're living a divine script. People go, well, Keith, I just can't do that right now. I understand practicality. I get it.
Yes.
But when are you going to beat your feet at all towards your bliss so that when you master your craft, you can begin to spread more light into the world?
Right. I always say, Keith, listen, I'll say to somebody, what do you love to do? If you did, like we said, if you didn't need money, what would you do if you didn't need money to live? And they tell me, okay, how can you turn that into business? Or how can you do that helping other people?
Yes.
What can you do? And if you look at it from all angles, there is something there. But you have to look at it from all angles, like teaching. Okay, I don't have a physical space I could teach, but you know what? There's online. So now I have an e-learning platform. I might not be able to do it this way, but I can do it this way, So everybody just look at all the angles. Open your mind. Think, you know what? I don't even say think outside the box. Think without a box.
Yeah, there's no box.
There is no box. If you think inside the box, guess what? Those sides boxes are holding you back.
Yeah, the box only exists because of limiting beliefs.
Limitations. You got.
Yeah, that's it. Lisa Dottoli, thank you for being a phenomenal guest here on Center of Light Radio.
Thank you so much for having me, Keith. I was so excited to be here, and I hope to, talk again sometime soon.
Absolutely. I'm seeing Kyle Dust in the chat room saying how much he really applauds your presence here on Center of Light Radio.
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I will be in touch with you soon. Again, everyone, Lisa Dottoli. Namaste, Lisa. Keith Anthony Blanchard here, Center of Light Radio. Monday nights, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this mothership. And I, as your captain, we launched this puppy off into inner space. Next week, check this out. My guest is going to be Mr. Anthony Trucks. And the show is titled Trust Your Hustle. He's played with many NFL football teams. And now he is a life coach, motivational, inspirational speaker, entrepreneur. This guy, I'm telling you, look, I thought I was on fire. Now this guy's giving me a run for my money, and darn it, I'm just not going to stand for that. I need to up my game. This guy's really, really cool. Very, very powerful gentleman he is. Also in the very near future, July 11th on Center of Light Radio, my guest is going to be Amit Goswami. You've seen him on movies like What the Bleep. If you have the Discovery Channel, you've seen this cat everywhere. He's a theoretical physicist. He is going to be here. Also, listen to this. In the very near future, I think it's May 9th, my guest is going to be Swami Beyond Ananda. I'm going to have a spiritual comedian on here. If you've never heard of this guy, go to YouTube and look up Swami Beyond Ananda. He speaks spiritual truth, but he brings it in a very light kind of way. He's going to be here. So Center of Light's future is bright. Hopefully it gets so bright you have to wear shades. Keith Anthony Blanchard here. I appreciate you all every Monday night. You rock. Remember, when you lay down at night and you take in that breath and you breathe in your way into spirit as you fall into sleep. Breathe as if you want something greater than you've always known it yourself. Want it. Yearn for it. Make that your intention for your breath. And after about 10 minutes of that, something magical is going to happen, and you will move through the ceiling of thought where there's no right or no wrong, but instead a profound, deafening silence. And in that silence is when you can finally be able to hear the voice of God. Ease into bliss. See you next Monday night. Peace, love, and light. Take care.